people go, whoa, 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 hold on a minute. It sounds
Yeah,
really mad.
yeah.
Whereas if you've just got that one, who shot JR? Not JR, that was
JFK.
Dallas. JFK.
Dallas as well, yeah. Well, they're both in Dallas. JFK
Yeah.
in Dallas and in 63 on a Friday, which is the word 63, which actually is Vobes as well. Your last name, Vobes, is 63. So,
I was
yeah,
born in 63.
there you go.
There you are. Isn't that
Can we
funny?
take a dive into the rabbit hole, Richard?
Oh my God. What does that mean?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, JR, but I know who you meant, JFK, but then you've
Yeah.
got his son, JFK JR. But your numbers actually, so people that are watching because Richard's on the show, so they might not know what I do with numbers.
Mm.
Numbers is, well, gematria is the technical name, but when I'm talking numbers, what I mean is A is the first letter, so equals 1. B is the second letter, so therefore the numerical value is 2. C is the third letter, so it's 3, all the way through to Z or Z for our American friends. And that's the 26th letter. And so you can add up people's names, places, movies, names of shows, politics, history. So anything in our language has a numerical value. And I've noticed there's a lot of synchronicities that seem to happen between the language and the numbers. And so that's what I do. And hence, when we're talking there, I didn't know you were born in 63,
No,
but it
isn't that
came up.
strange? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it. And I feel that it's there to help give reassurance and positivity to people in this kind of confusing, almost overpowering mess of all the things that are going on. And your name, Richard, is 61, which is miracle. Vobes is 63, which is Friday. JFK was assassinated, and I'll say swapped out. In my opinion, there's something else to it. It's not quite what it says on the tin. So I think we might see a return of him at some point, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
So, and it happened on a Friday, which is 63. And even if you do 63 plus the Friday 63, that's 126, which comes to John Connor, Sarah Connor for the Terminator movies. I talk about that a lot. The word Terminator is 133, which is government, because they're trying to, govern the mental state of us. But also the word Terminator is 133. I said simulations 133. So there's a lot of these things that are connected. But yours, if you do Richard 61 Miracle plus Vobes 63, 63 is Paris as well. Diana passed there or went into protection. But if you add them together, it comes to 124. 124 is the word compassion. People kind of in our circles that you probably met at least one of them because he was there. Andrew Bridgen is 124.
Right.
Lawrence Fox is 124. I believe, if I've got this right, no, the Reclaim Party is not. That's something else. No, I think I need to check. There's a connection with 124 and the Reclaim Party. I did it on a show a few weeks ago. But I'm a big Back to the Future fan. I watched the trilogy of them again over the weekend, over the bank holiday. And in that film, you have to travel at 88 miles per hour. 88 is a special number because it's the infinity, the double loop. 88 comes to Scotland, comes to purple, the royal colour, comes to Trump, and I'm a big supporter of Trump in this. I know he's polarizing, but I'm a big supporter of him. I've met his daughter Ivanka, I've met his son Eric. But 88 mph is actually 125 time travel, but it's also John Kennedy, and you made reference to him when you said JR, but I knew who you're on about, JFK.
Yeah.
And what was I saying in regards to just before that with Back to the Future? Oh yeah, so Back to the Future, the amount of power needed in that film to time travel, they call it gigawatts, and gigawatts comes to 124, which is Richard Vobes. So I was like, I know you're into the entertainment business. I don't know if you're a fan of Back to the Future, but I thought I'd mention them. So Compassion 124, Andrew Vobes 124, gigawatts 124. Andrew Bridgen 124, and you've talked about how you're the bridge between the kind of, we know something's going on, we're not going to take the full ice bath, but we're going to, we need something in the middle. So, the numbers, the words, the synchronicities always pop off the page when we get going with it. So,
And it's not just the human thing about looking for patterns. It's not just there's more to it than because I mean, I suppose if I put my skeptic's hat on, you say, well, once you start seeing a type of pattern, you start, if you've bought a red car, you always see loads of red cars. Yeah. Whereas before that, when you had your yellow car, you didn't see the reds.
Well, it's very interesting you brought both of those colours up, because JFK is 27, which is red.
Right.
And numbers, which is what I do,
is
92, which is yellow. So it's very appropriate that you brought those ones up, Richard.
There you go. Out of all of the ones that I could have done.
Exactly, you could have done other ones.
Yeah.
But I believe that probably a bit of both actually with that. And the interesting thing with that is if you add red 27 plus 92 yellow, or JFK plus numbers, or reverse comes to 119, which comes to redemption. It comes to Nikola Tesla. And I think that probably we might see, as time goes on, we'll see more of the Tesla physics, the other physics, the quantum physics come into playing more and more in our day-to-day lives, where we get to actually use them. I think some of it's going on now. Maybe we're not privy to everything, but I think we're going to see more of that coming into the future. But to answer your question about, is it just your reticular activating system, your RAS, where you notice a red car or a yellow car? I think there's some of that. But I also think that I've seen tens of hundreds of thousands of them over the last 3.5 years, and I get them just day by day, minute by minute. So I'll quite often get something where I'm working on a number. I had it twice at the weekend, and I'll have a film on or something, and then the person will say the exact phrase I've just done the numbers on. But that happens to my brother, it happens to other people. And so these synchronicities they're subtle, but they're really elegant, and they're beautiful, and they're reassuring. And so you can go beyond just noticing all the reds or all the yellows. But when someone, like I had it the other day, I was watching Heat, one of my favorite films, with Al Pacino in and De Niro's in. And it's not a commentary on whether these guys are good actors or bad actors in the grand scheme of things. I did actually meet Al Pacino the year before 2020, so 2019. I met him when The Irishman came out at the film festival in London. And out of all the actors and all the directors, all of them are there, Al Pacino was the most gregarious and friendly. He kept running back to sign autographs with people. I got a picture with him. So if Al's watching, thank you for the time. And but Heat is a big. I call them Q movies: Back to the Future, The Matrix, Terminator, even chick flicks like Notting Hill, Dirty Dancing. There's a lot of films. I think most things have got the good codes in as well as the bad ones, but now we're opening up to the good codes and we're recognizing them. So the film Heat comes on. Heat is 34 in numbers, which is Grace, which is DJT. And I also spoke to Michael Mann, the film director, in 2016, I think it was, on the phone about a script I had written. Sorry, not a script. I wrote the script off about a show similar to this. I'd done a show with Michael Gambon, Dumbledore from Harry Potter, and I wanted to interview Michael Mann, and got through on his phone. Then I got put through to the second and didn't really go anywhere. But fast forward to last weekend, and Heat came on, and I watched it, and it was late at night, and I loved watching it because I always enjoy watching. Anyway, the credits come rolling up, and lo and behold, the name Tom Numbers appears on the screen. I'm like, what? Hang on, what's that?
Really?
Yeah, Tom Numbers came up. I was like, what? And I don't have rewind on the TV. It's a pretty basic one here. And I was like, hang on, what did I just see? So I caught it, a flicker, but I caught it. So then I found that the end credits to Heat on YouTube. So I saw the end scene, and then the credits came up. And lo and behold, there's a person in that film, in the credits, called Tom Numbers. Now, I've shared this with my audience, but also a few close friends, and they made the observation, which is kind of obvious when you think it. Numbers is not really a last surname, so it's very rare. It's not like Tom Brown or Tom Jones or Tom Smith, which you could get that. But Tom Numbers is. Before I got named Tom Numbers by the community, I'd never heard of the name Tom Numbers, but there is someone in the film industry that is. And they're a costumer, and there's in the Heat credits there's 6 of them. It says costumers, and there's 6 of them, but Tom Numbers is one of them. But when I added up the word costumers with the S, it comes to simulation, which is 133. And I've been talking about the simulation for so much time, you know. And it was just really, it was another kind of wink from the universe saying, it's not everything we think it is. I don't know, I don't fully understand it yet, but I'm open to delving into it more and more. And it does feel like somehow this is maybe a very realistic dream or a simulation or a matrix or something that we're in, because these synchronicities seem to be happening at not light speed yet, but turbocharged and regularly, far more often than just a pure happenstance of coincidence. I used to get them before 2020, I'd get them, but nowhere near the frequency or regularity that I'm getting them now.
So I'm looking forward now to getting you on my show when we do it, because you can take us through this stage by stage, and I can fully appreciate it. But can I ask you this then? I was, when you first started talking about this, I was thinking, I wonder, the question I would want to ask is, are we guided to write stuff so that the numbers add up as you discover them? Or is it that they're people who are, say, writing the script don't know that they're, making these words that add up to the numbers that actually have meaning, like the title, heat, etc. And it just so it's almost as if subliminally they are going, oh, heat's a great title, that's what I'm going to call it. But actually, as if it's guided from above or whatever to say, we've got to get to this number, and this is a word that works, and it works for the film, blah blah blah. So it's